Hey, it's Melissa from Special Ed Law Mom coming to you with another video today. I get the question a lot of, doesn't the IEP expire? They're telling me it expires and we have to have it done. And even if the meeting is going to be cut short or we haven't had enough time, we have to have it done or it expires. No, the IEP is not like a block of cheese that goes moldy or expires. If I could refer you to this book, I mention it all the time, Special Ed Law by Wright. I have links for it down below. Best 25 bucks that I spent 25 years ago for my kids. There's a newer version out of it, but there haven't been a ton of changes to IDEA. So, anyways, great investment if you're wanting to advocate for your child or just understand the law a little bit better. But IDEA is part of Section 34 of the Code of Federal Regulations. And in this book, it has an index where you can look up the topic like IEP meetings. What do they have to consider? How do they have to give notice? All those kinds of things. And then it will tell you where to look at it and find it in the law. But under 34 CFR 300.324, it talks about development, review, and revision of the IEP. And further down in that chapter, it talks about each public agency must ensure that the IEP team, number one, reviews the child's IEP periodically, but not less than annually, to determine whether the annual goals for the child are being achieved. And then it goes on from there to talk about the results of any reevaluations, if progress is being made, that kind of thing. But the IEP just has to be reviewed annually. So if you're in a meeting and you're close to the deadline, as long as they've reviewed the IEP annually, it's a living, breathing document that can change at any moment. And if you are not ready to make changes to it, or further evaluations are needed, or further dialogue is needed, or you want to exercise your dispute resolution options, or any of those things, as long as they, under 300.324, have reviewed it annually with you, they have met their obligation. That deadline is their review date. It's not the date for it to expire or for services to end or, Johnny's going to fall off a cliff because, if you don't sign it tonight, we can't implement services tomorrow. It is a review date. And like I said, it is a living, breathing document. They'll be the first to tell you that if you try to dispute something that they want to propose. They'll be the first to tell you that it's a living, document that can be changed at any time. That's right, school system. It's a living document that can be changed at any time. And as long as you've done your annual review of it with mom and dad, then you've met your obligation and it does not expire. And you can actually put on those documents that you've done the review. So therefore they're in compliance, or they can show that they've had the meeting so that the state can't say that they're not in compliance because they've done the annual review. The rewriting, the revisions can happen at any time. So don't fall for the IEP is going to expire, mom, and we're going to have to take away services and we can't do anything. Not true. They don't understand it. I want you to think about this. I was listening to an advocate recently that I do some training with, and she was saying, how many people in the room that you're meeting with have actually read the special ed law or been trained on it? Most have not. And she was saying it's not something that you learn in 5 minutes. And it takes attorneys years to learn it because it's very intricate. And if something doesn't sound right to you, then you ask for the written policy to support that. Because 9 times out of 10, if it sounds a little kooky, it's a little kooky. So if they tell you it's going to expire and you have to do this, I would ask for the written state or board policy that says that your child's services will be terminated if you don't sign whatever they're proposing, despite the fact that you've got pending things that need to be discussed or gone through or evaluations. You ask for that policy, and I would ask for it by close of business the following day. You'll find when they can't provide it, the stories will sometimes change. So, just wanted to let you know 300.324, keep that in your noggin. You get into a meeting and they try to convince you it's going to expire. It doesn't expire, school. I'm sorry. You're required to review it once a year. We've met that obligation. Now, let's get down to what we need to do. Let's finish it in a timely fashion, but let's make sure we don't rush to finish it because there isn't an expiration. So I hope that's helpful. If you're interested in my advocacy services, you can reach me at specialeducationlawmom@gmail.com. And until then, I've got my contact info down below. And until then, make it a great day. Thanks. Bye.